That's killed it.
You made the decision to play Thiago. But Klopp doesn't change the system. Just move back left. You don't want to change from the 4-3.
What's going on, people? What's going on, people? It's been a long time coming. Welcome to the Jerry James Show. First of all, I'd like to start off by saying I'm so happy you guys are tuning in. It's been a massive journey for me to get to this position to do what I'm doing. So I'm eternally grateful to everyone supporting, to everyone that's liked, shared, commented, subscribed on YouTube, socials, everything. Happy, like eternally grateful. But we start the day with the big news. D-Day, Darwin Day. Liverpool have completed the signing of Darwin Nunes for a record £85 million, which is equating to about 100 million euros. That's obviously if you add on the add-ons. The initial fee will be about 65 million. Now, this is a massive signing for Liverpool because it blows the actual total transfer will blow Van Dijk's transfer to us out the water. It's our biggest transfer for a striker by some margin, with Salah, or as a forward, with Salah being the second highest. I think that was at 36.8 million or 38.6, one of the two. So massive statement of intent, if anything. And I know obviously Nunes is quite controversial in the sense that a lot of people don't know whether they're in the Nunes boat or at the Nunes boat. So it's quite an interesting and intriguing situation for Liverpool. Now, the question I've got, and this will be a quick video because just to summarize what's going on with the signing. What do we expect from Nunes? What do we expect? Do we expect instant success? How many goals, assists? Now, for me personally, I feel that it's got to be minimum 20 goals in all competitions. Although there is a settling in period and everything, and 100%, and I get it. A signing like that, a marquee signing, a signing that Liverpool fans we're not accustomed to, it's got to be a minimum 20 goals a season, especially considering the fact that Mane it looks like he's on his way out of the club. And nothing's been confirmed as of yet, but we all know the deal. And Nunes doesn't have to replicate his performances because they're two completely different players, but the output has to be the same. Reason I say that as well is because it's leading on to my the next kind of segment of the quick video is how does this affect Liverpool moving forward? Because Nunes isn't a type of a player that's on the periphery of a team. So when you look at a team and a team's always structured from the center and you spread outwards. So our spine at the moment, obviously Alisson, Verge, Fab. And then obviously it used to be Bobby, but now it's not. But that spine is really, really strong. And that spine is key to any success that Liverpool have had in the past. The sign was Mane this season, although it did chop and change with Jota, but towards the end of the season, we saw that Mane converted into a striker and then was able to perform brilliantly. But Nunes is different. Nunes, I would argue, isn't as versatile as a player. I think that's fair to say. However, he's the number 9 that we've all been crying out for. So for me, it's really intriguing to see how our team is structured around him, because Nunes won't play the false 9. Nunes will be a solid kind of out-and-out number 9, something that we've been crying for. But what tactically that suggests to me in my head is that the positions Salah and Diaz will take up from now will be completely different to what they have done in previous seasons. Reason being is because when you've got a target man, a number 9, that type of number 9, and I don't mean target man as in he's not going to run in behind, because he is really mobile, Nunes. But what that suggests to me is that he's going to be flanked by two really tricky wingers, but he's going to need service. He's going to need service. And that to me suggests that we're going to see a phasing out or less reliance of the inverted winger, the inverted forwards that we've had with Mane and Salah in previous seasons. And I do feel that this will be a transition away from the reliance on Salah, because Salah can't occupy Nunes' space down the centre of the pitch. I do feel he's going to have to create width within our team to allow Trent and whoever the number 8 is, so whether that's Carvalho, Elliott, Henderson, playing in that right-hand side channel, to be able to have the freedom to create, to get the balls into the box for Nunes. So I think that's really intriguing, because that's going to be a quite a dramatic shift away from, the false nine dropping in, and then Nunes and Salah making, Mane and Salah making runs coming from out to in to kind of create that movement down the centre, whilst obviously Firmino drops. So I think that's really intriguing. Another point also to kind of think about is who plays in that 10 position. I mean, the transfer window is still open, so there is a possibility that we could get a number 10 in, although there haven't been any real strong links. At the moment, Carvalho is someone that we've signed from Fulham. And I do feel as though if we don't get who we want, or if the club doesn't get who they want, so there are reports suggesting that it is Jude Bellingham, please. But if we don't get who we want, then I do believe Elliott and Carvalho, potentially Jones and Firmino, will be rotating that position and will be playing in the hole. And I think that's a really intriguing scenario as well, considering the fact that obviously both Fabio Carvalho and Elliott are really, really young. And as I mentioned on previous streams as well, to put that emphasis on or kind of a young player to be the main kind of focal point of our attack, and for everything to go through him, and to put play eye through the needle type of passes into our strikers and our forward line, and for him to be that sole creator, I think that's especially for Fabio, considering he's just come from the Championship, that's a massive ask, massive asking. We're in a position where we're not challenging, we're not trying to get to somewhere where we can allow players to develop as we did with Trent. What we're trying to do is make sure that we can pip City to the Premier League, we can pip Madrid to the Champions League. And right now, it's about what can we do now. And although we are setting ourselves up for the future with kind of the signs we've made, they have to have an immediate impact. Otherwise, we won't capitalize on what we can call as Liverpool's golden generation. But to go back to my point in regards to Nunes, what do we get from Nunes? Well, I think we get a really mobile, direct, big presence up front. Someone that can really challenge this and occupy the centre backs that we play against. A lot of the times, our kind of forward line were quite small. So the centre backs, the issues they had was obviously pacing behind, but a lot of it was, Mane dropping in really deep, or Bobby dropping in really deep to receive the ball and then spinning, and that causes an issue in itself. But when you're playing against a low block, you do need a type of striker that stands on the shoulder and stays off, or stands offside and makes the centre backs keep checking their shoulder, because they know that the striker's occupying them constantly. It then gives, for me anyway, it gives the midfield space that obviously then push on, create, attack, shoot, which we desperately need and desperately want our midfielders to shoot. So, I mean, a lot of people have, are in and out Nunes. I'm fully in the Nunes boat. I think it's something that we need. I do believe that Liverpool, for how good we've been and how fantastic we've been as a club, we've underachieved ultimately, because when you look at it on at face value, it's won Premier League in 4 years. It doesn't look great. And considering this is the best Liverpool's team I've seen, and most Liverpool fans in my age group would have seen, it's imperative that we can assert some kind of dominance, because the worst thing would be for this to be the best day it ever gets, and we end up like an Arsenal or Man United. And in that instance, it'll be horrific. It could be horrific, because you don't get these chances often. You don't, and you have to capitalize. And I believe that the Nunes signing is a statement of intent that we are attempting to capitalize. We are matching City's purchase of Haaland with our own striker. And I do believe that Klopp would have preferred Nunes over Haaland, purely because of the fact that he does prefer the underdog. So it does look like a marriage that's going to work great. I mean, his tenacity, his aggression, it looks really good. It looks really good. So, I mean, time will tell. Time will tell. I mean, I can't wait for pre-season. So, yeah, we'll have to wait and see. We have to wait and see where that goes. But thank you anyway for obviously keeping up with me and keeping up with the Jerry James show. Decided to drop a little cheeky video, considering it's D-Day, Darwin Day, but also the show's debut, essentially first pilot episode, with the intro dropping earlier. So please like, share, subscribe, and make sure you keep posted on all the social media. Cheers. Peace out.
That's killed it.
We made the decision to play Thiago. Klopp doesn't change the system. Move back left. You don't want to change from 4-3.